Sometimes life breaks you, not to destroy you, but to remind you what you're made of. This is the story of Daniel Brooks. It's a simple man from Ohio, a man who once had everything: a stable job, a happy family, and a quiet little house at the end of a street where the sunsets felt like peace. But life doesn't always warn you before it hits. In a single year, Daniel lost his job at the factory he'd worked at for 14 years. His marriage fell apart, and his father, his greatest supporter, passed away after a long battle with cancer. By the winter of that year, Daniel wasn't the same man anymore. He barely spoke. He barely ate. Most days, he'd just sit by the window, watching the snow fall. Wondering where everything went wrong? His friends tried to help, but he pushed everyone away. He thought he had failed as a man, as a son, as a husband. The world around him felt colorless, and his own reflection felt like a stranger. He started walking late at night, just to escape his thoughts. One of those nights, he found himself on an old bridge outside town. Below it, the frozen river whispered, "Let go." Daniel stood there, motionless. But then, something stopped him. A small sound, like metal hitting metal. He looked down and saw an old homeless veteran sitting under the bridge, trying to light a fire. The man looked up and said, "You okay, son?" Daniel nodded silently. "You look like you're carrying a war inside you," the old man said, "but trust me, wars end. You just have to keep fighting until they do." For some reason, those words hit him harder than anything he'd heard in months. He sat down beside the man. They talked for hours about life, pain, loss, and the strange ways people survive it. The man said something Daniel would never forget. "You don't find strength when life is easy. You find it when you've got every reason to give up. And still, you don't." When Daniel returned home that night, he couldn't sleep. Those words echoed in his mind. He looked around his small, broken apartment. It was a mess like his life. But for the first time in months, he felt something. A small spark. He got up and started cleaning. Not because it would fix everything, but because it was something he could control. Next morning, he woke up early. He went out looking for work. Every place said no, but he kept walking. And every no made him stronger, not weaker. After 2 weeks of searching, a small repair shop offered him a job part-time. It wasn't much, but it was a start. He began rebuilding his life one small step at a time. He reconnected with his sister, called his mom more often, started going to the gym again. Each day he pushed himself a little further. The world didn't magically fix itself. But Daniel was changing. He was remembering who he was before life broke him. Months passed. One day, while leaving the repair shop, Daniel saw the same old veteran again sitting near the bridge. He ran up to him, handed him a cup of coffee, and said, "You saved me that night. It reminded me who I was." The man smiled. "No, son. You saved yourself. You just needed a little reminder." As Daniel walked away, the sunset painted the sky orange and gold. He took a deep breath and whispered to himself, "I forgot how strong I was." And in that moment, he realized that strength isn't about never breaking. It's about how you rebuild yourself after you do. Because sometimes life doesn't give you back what you lost. It gives you something better, a stronger version of you. The strength you forgot you had. It was never gone. It was just waiting for you to remember.